You can learn how to be a better negotiator. It's a skill. You're going to trade as few of your wants, the things that aren't that important to you, for as many of your needs as possible. That's what negotiating is about. You need to know your overriding purpose or your overall objective before you ever walk in the door to negotiate. That overriding purpose will very much determine what tactics you use, how you go about negotiating, how firm you are in terms of your stands. All those things will enter in. Here's your best possible deal. Here's your least acceptable response. Look at how much room is in there. All of this room in between is called your wiggle room. That's your bargaining room. So before you ever walk out the door to go and negotiate something, make sure you have those 5 things written down. I literally do this even though I've negotiated so many deals, because every deal is different. So that when I'm in the thick of the bargaining, I can pull from that list of wants and trade for something I really need. Yes?
To what extent can you compile a list of items to trade that you don't care about at all?
Okay, to what extent can you compile a list of bargaining chips that you don't really care about at all? My feeling is the more you've got on the list, there might be something on that list that is of no value to you, but maybe of high value to your opponent. So I say get creative. What are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of really antagonizing your counterpart by appearing to be threatening them.
Some people use it very effectively. And they think that if they intimidate the other party, they'll get more of what they want. But you run the risk with that one, too, of totally turning off your opponent. And they might not ever want to do business with you. That's when I may do a fake walk. And a fake walk is simply, if you're in person with the other party, simply starting to pack up your things and, walk away. And you're hoping that by the time you get to the doorknob, they're saying, well, wait, come back, we can talk about this now. And then what's happened is a total power shift. Now you've got the power. In fact, let me tell you a real secret. The person who has the most power in any negotiation, doesn't matter whether it's a house, a car, a job, the person who has the most power is the one who can walk away. I try never to use that phrase in negotiating, giving away things, because you never want to give away anything. You always want to trade. Very often, if we're not confident about our own negotiating skills, we walk into a negotiation already feeling like the underdog. Whereas if you just felt stronger about your negotiating skills, you'd be up a little bit. So in the book, I talk about how to level out the playing field and really look at all the possible sources of power. Let's look at some of these counteracting strategies, because we all want to know, gosh, if somebody's using one of these on me, how do I fend it off? So the first one, and one that I love and I use a lot, is called a leveling statement. If you feel you're being lied to, you can use a leveling statement to name what you think is going on. And here's how it might sound. It seems to me that I'm not getting the whole picture here. Tell me about that. I used to be a newspaper reporter, and in journalism school, I had to learn how to get information out of people who didn't want to talk to me. And those words, I call them the magic words, if you begin a question with who, what, where, when, why, how, or tell me about, people can't answer yes or no. 83% of salespeople, whether it's part of your title or not, but 83% of people who are selling things will drop their price simply because they're asked to. You never want to drop your price just because you're asked to. So if you can get your head around the mentality of this is a game, it's got nothing to do with me, I want to play this game well, then what you do is start to work on your skills. And when you work on your skills, your confidence begins to build. Yeah.
What if you're negotiating with a yeller and you do use the tactic of we need to all cool down, and they say, no, we don't, I'm fine, and they're yelling at you, is it okay for you to wash out to say, I'm not going to speak to you yelling, and you're walking out, and then they say, well, I'm not going to negotiate with you, you're rude, you walked out.
I would continue to call them on it and say, you know what, we're not going to get anything done as long as you're yelling. So when you stop yelling, we can continue.
What can you do if you negotiate something based on certain information that you got, and then you find out a little later that things were misrepresented, it wasn't exactly what you thought it was going to be? How can you...
Okay, did everybody hear the question? What can you do if you've negotiated something, then you get information later on and find out that things were misrepresented? What can you do? Reopen the negotiation. Okay, I want to thank you all for coming today. I hope you enjoyed it.
I'd like to basically say around Susan's efforts here today, I've never had so much fun in understanding what it really takes to be a good negotiator. She takes the nervousness out of this whole experience and brings it into a sense of play and really sets up boundaries that I really didn't quite understand were always with me and a power that I had. So a great book, great energy. I would really recommend her at any point in time for anything that you want to do around sales training or marketing or negotiation skills. Really terrific. So thank you.
I just want to say I really enjoy your presentation.
Oh, thank you.
I realize all the foibles I recently made in a negotiation.
Learn from them. That's how you get better. That's how you get better.
And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very helpful.
Yes, I hope so too.
Well, it was great
Bye,
meeting you,
Jamie. I'm
Susan.
so glad I got to meet you.